Happy FLOSSMAS, everyone! Welcome. My name is Kari, and this is Tiger Lily Designs, and here we are in FLOSSMAS episode 10. We're in double digits. I'm having so much fun. Thank you so much for checking me out. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming along for my daily chit chats this month. If you just found me, welcome. I'm having lots of fun sharing some stitchy goodness with you all during this month. So as always, we're gonna dig right into the good stuff. We've got the Kitten Stitcher Advent, day 10. I'm not sure this is a pattern. We'll see. I hate to speculate, hate to guess, and then get you wrong. But I don't think so. Let me show you guys first. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Glasses are needed. Glasses are needed. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta take them out of the bag to share with you. These are Santa labels for your needlework by Kathy Barrick. And of course, if you don't know, Hello from Liz Matthews is like one of my all-time favorite designers, and this is her mother, so I love that. I've never had any of these. Look at these super cute Santas. Oh my goodness. So many cute ones. How do I pick a favorite? This is a lot of stitching, friends. These are a lot of big stitches. But the cool thing is, let me show you the bottom. So it says this piece was wrought by and completed on title, designer, linen, and thread. And they're, you know, I've seen Liz and her mom show these, and you know, I've never actually had one in my hand, but they're actual like stickers. So they have the, I don't know why I thought they were note cards that somehow you had to attach the back of it, but the stickers make it even more better. How fabulously fun are those? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to put those in my stash. I've got to get some big Christmas projects done to be able to use those. But those are great. All right, moving right along into today's, I don't know why I put my glasses away. Goodness gracious. Happy Friday, friends. It is FLOSSMAS Day 10. The Etsy shop is Cosford Rise Stitchery. And she is a relatively new shop. I went back and I tried to figure out exactly how long she's been on Etsy. I think it's a 2021 new adventure for her. And so her name is Kelly, and she currently lives in the town of Elmset, Suffolk in the UK. But she's originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. How cute is that? So she is a mom of 2 kids, and she's also a midwife, and she's a cross-stitch designer. She wears a lot of hats and gets it done. She's got some great projects. Like I said, she is, I think, relatively new to the cross-stitch designing realm, but she is coming out swinging because these are some great patterns. I don't know this one that I'm sharing with you is called the Peppermint House. And it just immediately, drew me to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is just, I don't know if it's prim. I don't know if it's, it just gave me all the warm and fuzzy. So let me just show it to you. The primitive, let me see if the glare. So obviously, again, always, this is an Etsy designer PDF pattern. You can go and download it today and get it started. And so this is a gorgeous pattern, like I said, by Kelly, Peppermint House. And let me give you the details of what she stitched it on, if I haven't lost that part of the paper. Last page. She's got 9 DMCs, so it's charted fully in DMCs. And it measures 130 by 160. So on a 14 count or a 28 count linen, whichever you use, it's 9 1/4 by 10 7/8. It does have a little bit of back stitch, and some French knots. So it is a little bit more than just a standard cross stitch, but totally doable. The back stitch is just some accent lines. It's one of those things where if you wanted to do it, you could, but if you don't, I didn't even know it was there until like I was reading the pattern. But across this house, there's some like shingle lines to give it a little more dimension, I'm guessing. In that darker blue, the color of the door. I think you take one strand and kind of give it a little accent to it. It probably shows up. As we all know, pictures never do patterns justice. And then I think the French knots are in the wreaths that are on the door. So, you know, I've never done it, but I think because I think they're just red berries. Like they're supposed to represent little holly berries. Yes. So there's a green wreath and then little holly berries. Oh my goodness. I think that, because French knots really, I'm gonna be honest with you, French knots really aren't my jam yet. I know practice makes perfect. I should just, you know, suck it up and start practicing. It's what I tell my kids all the time. But instead, what could make it different, take it up a notch, at least in my opinion, is put little red beads. And I'm pretty sure I have super adorable little red seed beads. I have a mirabilia pattern with all the beads and all the things. Went down that rabbit hole. I've kidded it, haven't started it. But seed beads, I know so I'm thinking that I'm gonna put red beads instead of the French knots on the wreath of the house. Okay, let me just show you what I've got stitched so far. Because last night I got some extra stitching time in, just the way my day worked out. I was sitting down watching Gilmore Girls with my daughter a little bit earlier in the night than we usually get to do, and so I got a little extra stitching time in. So let me show you what I've got so far. Yeah, I went right towards the middle. Usually I'm a corner right. Listen, I start all over the place. Let's just be honest. But for this one, I wanted to start mid, right in the middle, the center of the house. Right in the center of the pattern, because I wanted to start on this big house. And so let me show you what I did. Because I did do something a little different than what she's called for. So I am using a pair, my fabric is 14 count driftwood that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. It's a little bit darker than her called for. Let's see what Kelly called for. Kelly called for, I think it was casual linen. Yes, it's whiter casual linen and natural with white dots. The white dots would have been adorable. But I didn't, so my driftwood's a little darker. And so let me just show you my thought process, why I got a little extra time and all the things. So this is the blue of the house that is charted for. Gorgeous blue. It is number, just for funsies, 3813. So I, of course, started stitching it. I went all the way across the top. Now you're like, no, you did. It's not there. Well, So I went all the way across the top because it was DMC, so I didn't have to keep any kind of pattern. I didn't have to worry about trying to keep the variegation in line and all the things that come with using a hand dyed. With DMCs, it's kind of like, you know, stitch it wherever you want because the color's all the same. So I stitched it across. And then I looked at it and I went to a different light and I looked at it again. And I just felt, although it looks really great right here when it's all together, you know, a big thick representation of it, my two strands, two over one. So two strands just weren't popping. I wasn't getting that aqua peppermint house pop that I was looking for. So what I did is I went down to my thread wall and I'm cleaning. The last 2 days I've been cleaning my studio, so I can't promise when, but again, before the year is over, I'm gonna bring you guys into my studio and show you my thread wall and the fabric wall, show you some things. Anyway, so I went over to my thread wall and I was looking at some of the hand-dyed fab silks and flosses and the variegations and all the things that I had on the wall that obviously if they're on the wall, they're not in kits elsewhere. So there wasn't a huge cotton selection, because I'll be honest, when I'm buying cotton, I'm usually just buying the cotton, the called for cottons, the Weeks and the Colorworks and the Gentle Arts, all those things I buy for a specific kit. And so unless they have been kitted and stitched and done and all the things, they don't get back to the Threadwell for a while. So I have lots of things in my whips, and there's also a whip parade coming, but I digress. But the wall is full of silks, because as I've told you before, if you've been watching for a while, I did treat myself last Christmas to a complete collection from Miss Sada's Silks. And then this Black Friday, I showed you guys in my Flosstube number 10, my regular Flosstube episode, as I'm sitting here petting silks. Don't mind me. I treated myself to some Black Friday Mo's Silks specials. Long story to tell you. Okay, first, let me tell you this first. So I went down and Mo Silk in one of my silk grab bags, which was just an assortment. If you haven't seen all the silk yumminess from the Mo's Silk grab bag, go check out Flosstube number 10. There's some haul to share. But anyway, so in one of them was called Lutu. Lutu? I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but are you in this grain? Okay, good. This variegated color scheme was the house I wanted. I was like, that just gives me a little bit more brightness to my Peppermint cottage. So what am I doing? Probably something you're not supposed to do. Let's just be honest. But you know what? You do you, and I'll do me. And so what I am doing, because it's 2 over 2, and I do want to keep some of the original color scheme. I love I'm taking 1 strand from the DMC and 1 strand from the Silk Floss and mixing them together. So those are my 2 strands, because I'll be honest, I was afraid, because have you seen, hold on, this is a monster house. Like, so Kelly doesn't give stitch counts, but I'm just afraid that monster house. So I would have gone and just used the whole Mo's Silk, but because this was a grab bag and this was like a one and done, you're not going to get it again. My fear was that if I switched to this one completely, that I wouldn't be able to, like, I get half the house done and then I was up a creek, really. So that's why I decided, well, why can't I have 1 of each? So that's what I'm doing, because so that way I feel like I won't run out, but I'm getting just a little bit, just a sweet little tint of variegation from that Silk Floss, which is extra variegated. But since it's blended with the 1 strand of DMC, which is a total solid color, it's not super variegated. Anyway, this was a long feature, but because I wanted to show you guys what I was doing. So you could do that with different kinds. Obviously you can't get this particular one, but there's lots of yummy aqua variegated threads, or just choose a lighter fabric. But either way, this pattern is super sweet. I love it. And the aqua house is just my jam. So go check out Cosford Rise Stitchery. She's on Etsy and Instagram. I will link her down below, and go show Kelly some love. But I wanted to show you this too. So you're like, okay, so this was the back side. Most silks don't come on floss cards, floss drops. But yesterday, I cannot take credit for this. Hands to work. Yes, hands to work. Oh my goodness, what's her name? Tracy. Using my designs. Thank you. Yes. So Tracy from Hands to Work. I follow her on Instagram, and you should too. So that's yesterday's Kitten Stitcher event project winner. She had the brilliant idea of taking the floss drop card, or taking the number cards and making them into floss drops. So I totally did. I went and got my 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. I'm not quite sure what it is, but that hole punch. And then I always put a second one, a little tiny one, for those threads, like when you use 6 strands, obviously a 6-strand thread. When you only use 2 strands and there's 4 left, I don't mix it back on the main circle. I have a little sub circle. Anyway, that's how I do my floss drops. Okay, so the word of the day is going to be peppermint, the peppermint house. So the word of the day is going to be peppermint. And so Kelly has, as always, all of our designers are so generous. So Kelly has donated a PDF for today's giveaway. So enter the giveaway by putting the word peppermint in your comment below. Drawings will be on the 25th, as always. Let me show you. Goodness, this one's going a little long. I just wanted to share a little sewing, little behind the scenes of my Christmas. So when my kids were little, they had a different stocking. We have a Clemson tree, and then we have our big tree. And I've told you that before. But on the big tree, it's 90% Disney. And so the kids had Disney stockings when they were little. Well, now they're 16 and 19, almost 17 and 19. And so not that having a Winnie the Pooh stocking isn't awesome. And I certainly still have them. Don't get me wrong. I gotta keep them, but they never had their names on them, so they weren't personalized. So a couple years ago, I was making a flannel quilt. So a flannel quilt out of flannel shirts. Hence, I wore a flannel buffalo plaid shirt today to be part of the theme. So I thrifted 30, 40, lots of flannel shirts to make this gorgeous quilt. I don't have the quilt to show you. It lives somewhere else. It lives its new best life somewhere else. But maybe I can borrow it from that special someone and he'll let me show it to you. But so that's a great flannel quilt that I have. So of course, but if you have 40 shirts, you still have some scraps. So with that, I decided how fun would it be to cut those up even smaller and make handmade stockings. So it's just a patchwork flannel front. All of these were flannel shirts. It would be super special if you were using like flannel shirts from somebody that is special to you, your grandfather, your father, your dad, yours, whatever. But I made these stockings, and then so they're all fully lined, more flannel, and then I used my embroidery machine to put our names on the top. So those are our special stockings that hang over there. And so I just wanted to show you guys that sometimes, you know, taking the time and making these things is super fun. Sharing a pattern with you guys on this is definitely on my to-do list. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. You can link down below to go to my website and you can sign up for my newsletter. I am not a spammy newsletter person. I don't have time to write newsletters, spammy things for you. If I have something to share that I think is important enough to send to you, that's what I send a newsletter. Like if I have a restock or a pattern drop or something like that, that's what my newsletter is for. It is not a super spammy. It's not things like that. I'm just afraid that sometimes you might miss it. There's so many things in Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and the algorithms sometimes don't show you all the things. And so I just don't want you to miss it. And so the email newsletter is the best way to not miss those things, like project bag releases or my stocking pattern release. I don't know when it's coming. It's certainly not going to be done for this year, but put it on your list. Maybe in 2022. See, this is when you just come up with these ideas. You just sit here and you're like, why not? Because, you know, I don't have enough going on. Let's just put another thing on the list. But what if in 2022, we did like a one project per month, Christmassy themed, because I'm a jam on the Christmas things. So that way by the time Christmas comes, you've got some projects. So whether you're making one stocking or you have to make 10 for all your grandchildren or your children or all your nieces and nephews or your cousins or whomever, we've got time. So maybe 22 is the year of the handmade Christmas. We'll see. Like I said, I'm just making stuff up. But that was my share for today. And then, so last thing I wanted to show you of what's going into the grand prize giveaway. Don't forget that the grand prize giveaway for my Tiger Lily FLOSSMAS this year is every day I am adding a good little something to the box of goodies. If you haven't seen, there's some great stuff already. A Starlight Stitch Co. clutch, some floss, a Santa sack from yesterday, and today I'm popping in these Lori Holt greeting cards. So this was in a Fat Quarter Shop Black Friday bundle, and I have my own Tiger Lily cards. So I thought these would be super fun. They're super gorgeous, and a set of 12 greeting cards from Lori Holt. I mean, you know they're going to be great because Lori Holt and Fat Quarter Shop, they're a great team. So I'm going to throw this in the grand prize giveaway box. Don't forget, you need to have all the words from all 24 episodes of FLOSSMAS to enter to that grand prize giveaway. But don't worry, there's plenty of time still to go back and watch them. Remember, today is the 10th of December, so that means today is the last day to submit your Tiger Lily FLOSSMAS recipe share recipe. I'm still getting a couple more coming in every day. I don't know how many pages the recipe book is up to, but it's gonna be great. Today, I'm gonna go and grab some of mine to add to the fun, and then hopefully get it all formatted to share with you guys sometime over the weekend. All right, friends, that's what I've got today for FLOSSMAS episode number 10. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.